You guys ready to go?
Yep.
All right. 7 o'clock, December 19th, I'll call the town board meeting for today to order. Everyone has their agendas for this evening. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. I understand we have several additions to the consent agenda, so we'll have a total of 12 items on the consent agenda. And is there anything else to be added?
Nope.
Or changed? All right. With that change, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve tonight's agenda with those additions to the consent agenda. The next item is to approve payment of bills.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor of paying the bills, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion's approved. Fourth item on the agenda is to approve the town board minutes of December 5th, 2016. Any changes or corrections?
I did not see any changes or corrections. Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the board minutes of December 5th, 2016. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion is passed. Item 5 is the consent agenda. There's 12 items on that. Steve, could you read those, please?
Yes. Item 5A is to approve revised attachment A of the Republic Services Refuge Contract. Item 5B is to authorize execution of the appropriate operating engineers Local 49 Health and Welfare Fund bargaining premium account participation agreement to be effective 12/19 of 16. Item 5C, call a public hearing for Monday, January 23rd, 2017 at 7:10 p.m. to amend Section 7-6.2B of Ordinance Number 35 of the zoning ordinance. Item 5D is vacation of an easement. Call a public hearing for Monday, January 23rd, 2017 at 7:20 p.m. to consider vacation of a drainage and utility easement at Wilbert Plastics, 4221 Otter Lake Road. Item 5E, conditional use permit for CCR Truck Repairs LLC at 2379 Libel Street. Call a public hearing for Monday, January 23rd, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. Item 5F is Berry Lane Detention Pond Restoration. Authorize the town attorney and staff to prepare an easement. Item 5G, receive the construction activity report. Item 5H is approve a contract from October 21st, 2016 through October 20th, 2017, allow trail work in the township from the Institution Community Work Crew. Item 5I, call special town board meeting for Thursday, December 29th, 2016 at 12 o'clock at the Township Administrative Offices for a retirement gathering. Item 5J, approve amendment to the Employee Appreciation section of the Township Personnel Policy. Item 5K, authorize town traffic engineer to review Tower Crossing Phase 2 traffic impact study and advise the Planning Commission. Item 5L, approve job description for finance analyst and accounting clerk/administrative secretary. And number 2, authorize advertisement of the financial analyst opening. I make a motion to approve those 12 consent agenda items, 5A through 5L.
Is there a
As read.
second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda items as read. If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Item 6 on the agenda is old business. We have one item under old business, and that's regarding our 2016 water supply plan. I believe that's the town's engineer report.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, over the last several months, the town board has been going through the water supply plan. This is a document that we have to do every 10 years, and our deadline is December 31st. So
Closer.
closer. All right. And so we have been working on the different pieces over the last several months. This basically lays out the township, how we have with our water productions, the different breakouts that we have for the uses that we have. We go over the large volume users, how we treat things, the productions per the wells. A lot of data, basically laying out the system that the township uses. This is a document that also helps us in going forward, so we understand our system and how the demands and the uses are done. On Friday, we had our final review of this at the town board executive meeting. The document that we reviewed there is the same that is being presented tonight. If there are any questions, otherwise tonight we are looking for acceptance of this and then authorizing our submittal of the final document. So I open it up to the board.
Okay, just a couple of comments. It's a pretty extensive document with 52 pages of tables and statements and charts, et cetera. It's pretty thorough, and as the town engineer said, the board has reviewed this in the executive session several times. The latest time was Friday, and we pretty well, I think, have this put to bed.
Correct.
So it looks good, unless there's any further comments from board members.
None from me.
So the action requested then is to approve the plan for submittal, and the deadline to submit it is December 31.
Correct.
Okay. So is there a motion?
So move to approve the final draft of the 2016 water supply plan prepared by TKDA.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the water supply plan. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Then we move on to new business. Item 7, the first item is a special 3-dog license request. Let's see, that's scheduled for 7:10. Can I ask the town attorney, can we go ahead with that, or should we wait 2 minutes?
We should probably wait 2 minutes.
Okay. Tom, item 7B, can we do that in a couple of minutes?
I believe we could.
Let's move on to item 7B in the agenda, and that's a resolution to adopt the amount to be raised by property taxes for the year 2017.
Before you is a resolution on the town's property taxes for 2017. Currently, they are proposed property tax of $2,723,691, and then fiscal disparities of $276,309, which gives us a total levy of $3 million. This is the levy that was presented at the beginning of the month on December 6th to the residents at the town budget meeting, and those residents did pass this levy. So tonight, I need the town board to approve this resolution, which will finalize our 2017 property taxes in the amount of $3 million.
Okay, any questions from the board?
None from me, no.
Okay, so the action item requested is to approve that resolution.
I'll move to approve the resolution adopting the amount to be raised by property taxation for the year 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve that resolution. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. It's 7:10, let's go back to 7A. 7A is a public hearing regarding a request to approve a special 3-dog license request for 5342 Grand Avenue. First, I'd like to request a motion to waive reading of the notice since it's been properly published.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Okay, who's going to present this?
I am.
Okay.
Okay, on page 33 of your packet is a one-page report prepared by, a page and a half report prepared by Patty Wallstead, the town's paralegal, regarding the request. John Labor, who is present, and Bill Labor, property owner, have applied for a special 3-dog license for 5342 Grand Avenue. And in her memo, you can see that she takes each of the submittal requirements individually. The first is that the dog shall have current rabies certificates, and John provided confirmation that they've been received in all 3 dogs. The second requirement is that they have current township licenses, and there's a commitment on behalf of the applicant to pay for those licenses if town board gets approval for the 3-dog license tonight, then he'll proceed with licensing the 3 dogs. Third is completion of the application and payment of the fee, which have been done. Fourth is a report by the town's animal control officer. And fifth is neighbor comments received. We submitted, I'll go back to the sheriff's animal control officer in just a second, but I think we sent notices out to everybody within 350 feet, and I think there are about 35 notices sent out. We've not received any comments by phone or email or any other form from any of the neighbors that we notified. So going back to the animal control officer's report, and that is on page 42 of your packet. The animal control officer, Mario Lee, completed his report on December 14th upon inspecting the property. And in his report, he indicates that he's seen the dogs, he's reviewed the site, and I won't go through all of the criteria, then all have been satisfied. He does identify that there were some complaints that have led him to visit the residents and led to the submittal, for John to submit the application for 3-dog license. At the bottom of Mario Lee's report, he recommends conditional approval of a license, of a kennel license, or this be a 3-dog license, subject to a chain link or wooden fence to be added on ground level. And he identifies the area of the yard that he and John have agreed on enclosing in a fence. And that condition has been approved in the list of conditions that Patty has in her memo on page 33. So the recommendation is a conditional approval subject to putting in a fence.
Okay, before we open to public comment, I'll ask the board if you have any questions or comments.
I have a couple comments. Bill, I would prefer the license we paid for and issued to a special 3-dog license is approved, but put a specific with time frame so that we're clear that that needs to be taken care of if passed. I would be, 14 days is 2 weeks, plenty time. I mean, you can do,
Good.
I'd prefer that. And
So do you want to add that to the,
I would like to add that,
List of-
that's
okay.
conditional on a date specific from 14 days from tonight if agreed by my other 2 partners here.
so that'll be the 9th item then? Okay.
I was being kind, I was giving you a little bit of time to come in.
That would be February 2nd.
Okay. So we'll make that condition number 9 then.
Okay.
You just talking about
Well, that they
condition
come in
number
and
5
and buy the
plugging in?
license. They have to pay for it, don't
But Are
they?
you talking about condition number 5, just putting 14 days in there?
No. Oh, yeah, we can do, no, not number 5. I hadn't got to that one yet.
Oh.
I was commenting on Patty's memo that the license will be paid for and issued if approved within so many days.
Yep, condition number 2, under the
Yeah.
form, it was all dogs shall have current license obtained by the township by,
Yeah.
and we'll add that to number 2.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, when you come up, I'd like to have a little discussion, what we talked about for those, when the stairway gate fence can be done. That's my only other question that I had.
Okay, Ed, any comments?
Nope.
Okay. The only comment I have right now is that the documentation anyways has been pretty thorough on this one. We have good, complete documents submitted for each dog, all three of them. We have the animal control officer's report that's complete, so we have a good reference in front of us here. So with that, I'll ask for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I guess we also have to move to open the public comment portion of the hearing. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, with that, is there anyone in the audience who would like to add to the comments? If not, going once, going twice? Okay. One question that did come up and, or touched on, item 5 in the conditions was to enclose an area in the, apparently in the backyard at the base of the stairway to the deck. Okay. I think we need to add a deadline there, number one. And secondly, I think we need to ensure that the dogs are constrained or kept under control by the leash or in the house during that period of time. So if one of you would come to the podium, please, just identify yourself and your address.
5342 Grand Avenue, Whitebear Township. We have a whole deck that they can play on, and they can't get out of that, so until we can get the fence, that should be adequate for now.
Was that deck enclosed?
Yep, now it is.
So there's,
Yep.
okay, there's a gate or a door on the deck, so they can't get off of that?
Yes,
No
correct.
way.
Yep,
Okay.
they are pretty good at escaping,
Well, that's apparently so. That's why we want to bring up the issue.
but yeah, they're taken care of now, so.
Okay. And then, how long do you think it'll take you to complete that fence?
As soon as the frost is done,
So you're thinking this spring sometime,
Sure.
like?
6-foot fence will be up.
6-foot fence by the end of April?
Sure, sounds good to
Reasonable
me.
time?
April sounds fine with me.
Okay. Staff agreeable to that?
May 1st? Perfect.
May
I
1st?
like that better.
Okay.
I have maybe a clarification question on the rabies certificates.
Yep.
The two young ones, their certificates run out June.
Okay.
Is that because they're young? I mean, is that just the way that this
I
rabies? The other one's
Not
3
know,
years.
I guess.
so-
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how that works. I was wondering how often I have to license them and stuff too, to wonder how often I gotta do that.
We'll explain that when he comes in.
perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you addressed for the audience, they probably didn't hear, you said you'll bring in that fee payment tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. No other questions?
Any other questions or comments? If not, then the requested action then is to,
close.
is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? So the action requested is to approve the request for the special 3-dog license.
I'll make a motion based on the animal control officer's visit, staff recommendation, or review and recommendations. Motion to approve the request for the special 3-dog license at 5342 Grand Avenue for a period through March 31st, 2020, subject to the following conditions. Do I need to read those conditions, or are we as listed in our material?
As listed in the packet on page 31 and 32, and
With-
clarify the enclosure will be completed by May 1st.
May 1st, and that item number 2, although stated by the applicants that they would be in tomorrow to pay for the license, that we added that would be done within 14 days of approval. So, motion to approve that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. There's no further discussion. I'll call the question. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the license request is approved with conditions.
You bet.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, John. Next item on the agenda is 7C, and that's our 2017 to 21 capital improvement plan. Tom, is that yours?
That is mine again. In your packet is the summary of all the different improvements that are planned and the equipment purchases that are planned from 2017 to the year 2021. We've been doing a 5-year CIP for the last 3-4 years. It's been working out pretty good. For 2017, we've got just over $4,600,000 in improvements and equipment to be purchased. That amount has been included in our 2017 budget. And then the remaining 4 years, or the out years, 2018 to 2021, those are just really earmarked as possibilities and can be adjusted as needed. The equipment and the improvements that are planned for 2017, while they are included in our 2017 budget, they still do need to go through the normal purchasing procedures. In the case of construction projects, they have to still go through their normal procedures, so they still do need to come before the town board for approval before they are either purchased or constructed. But they are included in our 2017 budget. The plan includes all of our office equipment, or office improvements, some building improvements, public works equipment, public works facility improvements, park improvements, the community park improvements, and then some infrastructure improvements, water improvements, sewer improvements, and stormwater improvements, all planned for 2017 and out to 2021. And with that, I guess I'll just take questions.
Okay. Just an initial comment. The CIP has been under construction by staff for some time, and it's been reviewed and discussed with the board at several executive sessions, so this has been reviewed in detail, and to date, or this version looks to be acceptable to me anyway, so any comments from the board?
The one comment I'd like to make for the general public is that we are, if we want to have tornado warning advices, we have to upgrade or change our tornado warning system, and that is included in our 2017 plan. Is that correct, Tom?
That is correct. We have, I want to say $100,000 to replace, I believe it's 4 or 5 of the sirens, and then the devices that actually activate them.
And that is,
And Ramsey County is changing those out. And so for us to continue on to Ramsey County system, we do need to upgrade our system to whatever they're going with.
so it's important for public safety reasons that we have to go along with this.
That is
Be
correct.
compatible with the county
Correct.
systems. Okay. Anything else?
That's-
If not, then the action requested is to approve the 2017-2020 capital improvement plan for the township.
I'll make a motion to approve based on finance officer's review and recommendation, approve the 2017-2020 capital improvement plan for the township.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So the 2017 to 2020 capital improvement plan is approved. Item 7D on the agenda is the 2017 budget. Tom, that's yours?
That is also mine. Before you, again, we presented this budget at the December 6th budget meeting to the town residents. They recommended that the town board adopt this budget. The general fund is our operating budget. This is where we pay for all of our operating expenses. And for 2017, the budget in total is proposed at $3,878,000. $1,932. And again, we've had many workshops on this, and as such, again, it was presented to our residents at the budget meeting, and they made a motion to recommend adoption of this budget. And it is a balanced budget.
That's a good comment to hear. We like to see balanced budgets. Okay, any comments from the board?
No.
All right, then the action requested is to adopt the 2017 general budget.
I'll make a motion based on the finance officer's review and recommendation, adopt the 2017 general fund budget for the township in the amount of $3,878,932.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the 2017 budget. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Next item on the agenda is 7E, and that's regarding a resolution to approve transfer of certain funds for the town of White Bear. Tom, this is also yours?
Yes. Again, the town board did review these at their last workshop. Every year, we have a number of transfers that we make from one fund to another fund to make the township share of payments. Some of these are budgeted, such as the ones for payment of our debt. And then we have also in the past budgeted money going from our EDA fund to help fund Township Day. The remaining transfers are made in order to get our reserves down to meet our reserve policy or our fund balance policy, which is to maintain a reserve of 50% of next year's operating budget. The reason for that is we don't receive our property tax money until July, and so we need a cushion to get us through that first half of the year until we receive those funds. Overall, I still can't believe this figure, but in order to get down to that 50%, we need to reduce our fund balance by $600,000. And so, as I presented to the board on at the last workshop, I'm proposing that we use $50,000 transferred to the community park fund to help pay for town hall improvements, $200,000 to the improvement fund to be used for future seal coat or road improvement projects, transferring $200,000 to the stormwater fund to help pay for needed improvements in our stormwater system and to help build a cash balance to help with future rate increases or the need for future rate increases. And then in the community park, it says 50,000 there, but it should actually say 100,000 to pay for future community park improvements, and then 25,000 each to the capital building fund and the capital equipment fund to pay for future building funds improvements, and then future equipment purchases. Both those funds, we haven't been funding those activities 100%, and so this kind of helps make that up. Finally, there's one other transfer that I'm recommending. It's in the amount of $6,960. And this was something we found this year where some park dedication fees actually got coded as building permit revenues. And so because it was a 2015 revenue source and has already been rolled into the fund balance, I'm recommending that we just do that as an operating transfer, moving it from the general fund to the park dedication fund where those monies actually belong.
Okay. Okay, just a initial comment here. This is a fairly routine activity at this time every year. This is pretty consistent in terms of the format with what we've been doing for years past. Basically, the only thing that changes is the dollars that we're talking about. And last year, we did meet that 50% budget balance, or fund balance goal, and this year, we want to do the same thing.
Correct. Last
And-
year, with the transfers we made, and then with some extra revenue we got in right at the end of the year, we ended up with about 53% of the 2016 expenditures amount. With this, I think we'll be right down to right about 51%,
Okay.
so.
All right, and then we have to have this done by December 31.
We have to have it done by December
Okay.
31st. Otherwise, it would become a 2017 activity, and we would show our audit report in June. When that is presented, would show us with a fund balance above the 50%.
Okay. All right, any other questions from the board?
No.
So the action requested then is to adopt a resolution to approve transfer of certain funds.
I'll move based on finance officer review and recommendations that we adopt the resolution approving transfer of certain funds to the White Bear Township.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. 7F on the agenda, this is yours also, Tom. You're requesting an approval for fund balance classifications.
Correct. The last item, again, this is something we do every year. We have to have it done prior to the year end. And basically what it shows is the intent of the town to spend basically reserves on certain activities. In the general fund, we have a public safety reserve. It's an assignment of the fund balance of $2,490.39. And what that is the net of our false alarm revenue against public safety related activity expenditures for like the school carnival and other public safety events where they hand out the little trinkets and so forth. We then also are assigning $5,000 for any possible compensation study we may need, and then $2,000 would be assigned for some strategic planning. And then in the Park Acquisition Fund, a number of years ago, we received a donation for Rutherford Park development. We still have a $6,385.36 balance there for improvements to that park. Part of the donation was that those funds would be restricted for the development of that park. So we have that restriction, which we've had in the past. In the EDA fund, we have land that we have purchased that the idea with the purchase was that the land would eventually be resold. And so we've got land held for resale in the amount of $223,475.86. In the community park, we are, again, having an assignment of fund balance for town hall improvements now that we've got the building moved, and that's in the amount of $60,000. In the water fund, we have the water tower improvements. Again, it's an assigned fund balance of $200,000. And then finally, in the stormwater fund, we got funds set aside for the Stillwater Street drainage improvement project that'll take place sometime in the future, and that's in the amount of $250,000. All of these are pretty similar to what we've had in the past. The only one that's really changed any is the public safety assignment in the general fund, and then the town hall improvements we've actually increased based on the improvements that we've got planned here coming up for the roof and in the spring with some landscaping.
Okay. And again, this is a pretty routine year-end activity. We do this every year, so seen
That
this
is
before,
correct.
so. And again, we have to have this done by December 31.
We need it done before December 31st.
Okay, any questions? So the action then requested then is to approve the fund balance classifications for the end of 2016.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 7G is next on the agenda, and that's regarding improvement 2016-3, the Northeast Area Water Tower painting. Jim, that's yours.
Yes. Mr. Chair, members of the board, starting on page 91 in your packet, we'll have 3 items that we'll discuss here for the water tower. The township has an infrastructure management program, and part of that is the repainting of the water tower, and that is in the township CIP for 2017. It is the $1 million gallon tank that's up at Benson Airport. It is just east of 61, and the tower itself was built back in 1996. The paint is expected to live 15 to 20 years of life. We will be at 21 years next year, so we're doing good there. The tower is periodically inspected, both interior and exterior, and we don't have any significant issues with the structure at all, but it is time to be redone. The project will be doing both the interior and the exterior, so it will be taken out of service to do this activity. We also have 2 entities, antennas on there, T-Mobile and Verizon, that we have been working with. Those will have to be taken out and temporarily relocated on the site during our activities. The overall activity will require containment of the work so that we don't have any of the particles or anything, both for the blasting of the paint to come off and also when we do paint the tower itself. We are working with both T-Mobile and Verizon on this activity. They both have stated that they will have their antenna and other activities completed by the May 1st construction start date that we have in our plans and specifications. We are also working with them regarding the lease agreements, so that'll be kind of a dual process as we go forward here. We've worked with the Public Works Department, putting together the plans and specifications, and we'll continue to work with them throughout this process. Again, the tower will be taking out of service, so we will start that activity as soon as we can, which will be May 1st. The tower completion activity will be in August, so we'll get the tower back up and running at that point. As part of the bidding process, we'll hold a pre-bid meeting for the contractors to come check the site, ask us questions. We'll hold that on January 9th. The actual bid opening will be on January 18th, and we will bring those bid results back to you on the 23rd. As part of this process, the requirements within the specifications for the work will have a contingency that all activities with T-Mobile and Verizon are worked out prior to their starting of the work. We do not anticipate any issues with that, but we want to make sure we have that called out so that the township is covered in the case something does come up. Again, we will be putting all this together. We'll hold pre-construction meetings both with those companies. We'll be informing the Benson Airport of all the activities going on. So I think we are set at this point. So
The specifications and plans, the plan sheets are called out in the packet. You can see that we will have an area of construction zone when they hang the curtain out around the structure. So Public Works is working on having some trees cleared. We'll be probably working with that here shortly. Through the winter time is a good time to make sure our construction area is cleared out. Otherwise, at this time, we are looking for the approval of the plans and specification, authorizing us to go out for the bid process, which again we'll bring back to you at the January 23rd Town Board meeting. And then also dealing with the T-Mobile and lease agreements and their activities. We're requesting additional $3,500 for TKDA to perform that work, and that would be not to exceed.
Just a quick question. Now, we have to shut the tank down completely for the better part of 3 months.
Correct.
So the northeast tank, or the Hammond Road tank is gonna take on the bulk of the load then, for the water supply. When was that tank last inspected?
The inspections, we've had different degrees of inspections, but we have had those done in the last 2 years,
Okay.
both tanks. So
there should-
the overall time frame, though, and as part of our CIP plan, would be the following year to be doing the same thing for the Hammond Tower project, so 2018.
But I guess the real issue here is we're satisfied that the Hammond Road tank is in good shape to pick up the load, especially during that summer period. We don't
Correct.
have much choice here, but this is a good time to do it, in terms of the weather and in terms of the system being capable of
Correct.
continuing the load with no interruption.
Correct. The preparation work, we're getting that started as quick as we can in the spring. I mean, for painting, we have to be above 50 degrees, so we just have the summer window to do that activity. Well 5 is up and running, and that's one of our biggest pumping rate wells. So we're looking good with all wells being set for production in 2017. So that's another component of
Okay.
when we take out a tower to do the work.
Okay, good. Any other questions?
Well, I was gonna say, it's true that the Hammond tank was also cleaned in interior this year, so that we know if it's got increased demand, it's been serviced as well as it can be in anticipation of this then?
Correct.
Jim, do we normally send out a letter to the residents informing them if they won't have any disruption in water service or any quality issues or?
Well, at this point, we don't expect any differences, so unless, you want to do something in addition, but I don't see that we
Bill,
would
do
be
we normally
doing.
inform them when we do this?
No, we expect it'll be seamless, so.
Just trying to avoid a lot of phone calls if not necessary.
No, I mean, as everything's laid out, we anticipate that the system will continue to function as it currently does, and
Okay.
we should be
So
set.
the water utility customer will see no difference in service.
They will experience the same services we've
Okay.
had over the last several years.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, there's 3 action items requested. One is to approve the plan and specs, one is to authorize advertising for the bids, and the third one is to authorize paying TKDA for their services.
Correct.
You want these separately, Bob?
Yeah, let's do that.
Should be done separately.
All right, I'll move based on town engineer review and recommendations that we approve the plans and specifications for improvement 2016-3.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's approved.
And also move based on town engineer review and recommendations, we authorize advertisement for bids. Establishing the bid opening date will be January 18th, 2017, and I'm assuming that's the 1281 Hammond Road location?
Correct.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
And last, based on town engineer review and recommendations, authorize an additional amount payable to TKDA for additional time in addressing the T-Mobile and Verizon lease agreements in an amount of not to exceed $3,500, and noting that this funding will come from the water fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. There's no further discussion. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Okay, so that completes that item. That takes us to item 7H on the agenda, and that's regarding the Taylor Avenue Culvert Project.
Correct. So, Mr. Chair, members of the board, starting on page 98 in your packet, I have laid out in there are a couple invoices, and I'll walk through that, how that lays out. But this is our large 6x4 foot culvert that runs under Taylor Avenue, east of Highway 61. We have completed the work. That activity did happen here late in the year. Rice Creek Watershed District has a permit approval on this activity. They have been out and inspected our project and have approved of the work done so far. They will be out in the spring to do a follow-up review of that activity. Also, we've been very interactive with the residents out there, and in the spring we'll be making sure everything has been addressed. But at this point, we are confident in our project, all the work done. We're basically down to walking through in the spring to make sure all the restoration and stabilization, everything is accepted to all parties involved. With this activity, the original bid was for $49,065. We did have two areas that we had additional costs due to the soils. We had to remove material at a cost of $900, and then also bringing in that replacement material of $900. So we're asking for a change order to the $49,065 original bid amount of an additional $1,800, which brings the project to $50,865. As stated, these are kind of broken out in the two pay estimates that are attached in your packet. Previously, the contractor has already been paid for $39,715 as a partial payment as the work was taking place. We are now looking at paying the remainder of that amount of $11,150 tonight. Again, the final activities will be reviewed in the spring, and we will close out the permit with Rice Creek Watershed District upon their acceptance. So tonight we are asking for approval of change order one in the amount of $1,800 and a payment to the contractor of $11,150.
And that $11,150 includes the $1,800 change order?
Correct.
Okay. And with that payment, then, the original project scope should be completed?
Correct.
We're done, okay. Okay, any other questions from the board?
No.
So the action item then is to approve the change order number one and increase the final amount to be paid to the $11,150. Okay. What is the pleasure of the board here?
Well, based on the town engineers, I'll make a motion, based on the town engineer's review and recommendation, approve the change order number 1 in the amount of $1,800, which increases the amount to be paid to Janetta and Sons Excavating for the Taylor Avenue culvert for work completed to $11,150 with funding from the sewer fund.
Can I interrupt?
You may.
It actually won't come from the sewer fund, it'll come from the stormwater utility fund.
Good point. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
So
So
Joe, you got
amended.
that change to the motion? Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Item 7I on the agenda is regarding purchase of a replacement handheld water reader.
Correct.
Okay. Now, there was a question that we had, Bill, earlier today. Are we gonna go ahead with this, or do we wanna defer it?
I've got answers.
Okay.
All right. The way the town's touch read and radio read meters are being read is through handheld devices. The town has 4 of these devices that 3 of which we lend out to the meter reading contractor, and a 4th we hang on to, but sometimes the contractor takes all 4. But 3 of the 4 units are a certain model that can read all the types of radio reads that we've got installed in the township. The 4th one is unable to read the FlexNet radios. Therefore, we need to replace that handheld reading device. In the memo that Dale Reed is included in your packet, that staff is recommending the purchase of a replacement handheld device to maintain the town's ability to read in a timely manner and to perform day-to-day reading and programming of radio units. Recommendation is, and these units are acquired or purchased through HD Supply, Waterworks, and the price is $6,500. Recommendation has come from the Water Fund. But as we were preparing for tonight's meeting and doing a little bit of noodling, came up with a couple of questions that the Public Works Director was able to answer for me. The first is, as the town proceeds with its accelerated radio read replacement program, we're expecting that within a couple of years that we won't need the meter reading contractor, and therefore won't need the full 4 radio reads. We will need to have 2, however. And the new one that's proposed to be purchased will be able to meet our needs for a long time. The 3 that we're still holding on to, as Dale put it, will get us through the period of time that we'll be hiring a contractor to make the radio reads. But they would, if we were to continue to hire a contractor to do all the touch reads, we would had to have replaced them sooner or later. So he thinks that the 3 older reading devices will get us through the next couple of years. His recommendation is that once all of our touch read meters have been replaced with radio read meters, that we would purchase another handheld radio and touch read device like the one proposed tonight, and that we would get rid of the other 3. Either resell them if we can, if there's a market for them, or dispose of them otherwise. So that was his explanation for why we need 4 for a while. Eventually we'll need 2, but we'll need 2 of the upgraded readers, one of which we're proposing purchasing tonight.
I guess that's an important part of the discussion there, is that when we go to all, or almost all radio reads, we don't need all 4 of those handheld touch readers, and we one way or the other, we'll get rid of them.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right, any questions from the board?
Not for me, no.
Ed?
Nope.
All right, so the action item requested then is to purchase a new handheld meter reader
I'll move based on Public Work Director review and recommendations that we approve the quote and authorize purchase of one handheld model 6502 GB with a charging station and command link from HD Supply. This is in the amount of $6,500 and the funding from the Water Fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to purchase that new water meter reader. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. All right, item 7J, and we have a series of liquor license renewals, so this is gonna be a little repetitious here. Bill, is this yours?
Yes.
Okay.
The remaining parts of tonight's agenda include the annual renewals of liquor and tobacco licenses. So items 7J through 7N cover the 5 liquor license renewals. And in an effort to simplify the review process, Patty prepared a spreadsheet, which is on page 29 of the supplement. And in that supplement, she identifies the 3 on-sale applicants for renewal and the 2 off-sale applicants. Applebee's, Orchid, and Zenasia have submitted applications for renewal of on-sale, and Cub and Bald Eagle Liquor have submitted applications for renewal of off-sale. So in the spreadsheet, she indicates that the town has received completed applications and the fees have been paid for all 5. Background checks have, as of 4 o'clock today, been received for all 5. Insurance information has been received on all 5, one of which we needed a little additional information on, but is included in the supplement in tonight's packet. And finally, the 50-50, 50% food to 50% liquor to food ratio requirement has been satisfied in the 3 on sale, as there's no such requirement for the off sale. So what I'd like to point out is that, as I handed out to you earlier tonight, a correspondence that we received from the Patrol Division late this afternoon indicates of the 7 different applicants for both liquor and tobacco, there have been no violations or no arrests related to the managers who've been identified associated with those applications. So each of the items 7J through 7N liquor license requirements have been met and satisfied.
Okay.
So you take them one at a time.
All right. Yeah, in the past, we've gone through these applications one by one by one by one. This is a good summary with this spreadsheet, and unless there's any specific questions, based on our individual reviews of the documentation being acceptable and the summary that all of the applications are acceptable, I'd be willing to support that. Is that a reasonable approach for the board?
As one motion?
Well, no, but then we'll have to approve the application requests individually, one
Yep.
at a time.
We just don't have to review them all again.
Right.
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay. So the action item requested then is to approve renewal of 3 on sale and 2 off sale licenses.
All right, so
Who
you want
wants to start?
to start with Applebee's?
Okay,
I'll move to approve the renewal of the 2017 on-sale and Sunday liquor license for Apple, Minnesota LLC Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. This is at 1018 Meadowlands Drive, White Bear Township, Minnesota, 55127. It's for the period of January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. Can you lump these together then?
I think you can do
yeah,
both.
yeah, let's
Right.
do all
Yeah.
3 of those.
Motion also includes authorized signature of the license by the town clerk, and also authorizes staff to forward the liquor license renewal information to the State Alcohol Gambling Enforcement Division for filing.
Okay, the motion's made and seconded, or made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded, those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, Applebee's application is approved. Next action item is for Cub Foods.
Move to approve the renewal of the 2017 off-sale liquor license and 2017 3.2% liquor license for Kowalski's Company, Inc., doing business as Cub Food. This is at 1059 Meadowlands Drive for the period of January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. Also includes authorized signature of the license by the town clerk and authorized staff to forward the liquor license review information to the State Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division for filing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the Cub Foods application is approved. 7L on the agenda is request for Orchid Restaurant and Bar.
Again, based on staff review and recommendations, move to approve the renewal of the 2017 on-sale liquor license for Orchid Restaurant and Bar. This is located at 1190 County Road J, Suite 100 of White Bear Township, Minnesota, 55127. This will run from the period of January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. This will also authorize signature of the license by the town clerk and authorize staff to forward the liquor license renewal information to the State Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division for filing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the Bald Eagle liquor license request. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is passed. Next action requested is to renew the Zen Asia request.
Bald Eagle Liquor.
Just Bald Eagle. I just did Orchid.
Okay, so we approved Orchid. Now the request is
Just
to
talk about us
approve
alcohol.
the Bald Eagle liquor.
Perfect. All right, based on staff review and recommendations, I'll move to approve the renewal of the 2017 off-sale liquor license for the Bald Eagle Investments LLC, doing business as Bald Eagle Liquor, located at 5960 Highway 61, this for the period of January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. Also to authorize signature of the license by the town board chair and town clerk, and also to authorize staff to forward the liquor license renewal information to the State Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division for filing.
Yeah, motion's made. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So now we can say Bald Eagle liquor license request is approved. All right, next action item is for Zen Asia request for a license renewal.
Also, based on staff review and recommendation, move to approve the renewal of the 2017 on-sale liquor license for Zen Asia. This is located at 1011 Meadowlands Drive, Suite B is in, was it Suite 8, sorry, of White Bear Township, Minnesota, 55127, for the period of January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. Also to authorize signature of the license by the town clerk, and to authorize staff to forward the liquor license renewal information to the State Alcohol and Gambling Enforcement Division for filing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes, so Zen Asia request for renewal is approved. Next item on the agenda, actually, the next 4 items on the agenda are tobacco license renewals. And Bill, I see you've done the same thing for the tobacco licenses and putting together a matrix for us.
That's correct.
So
This is
we can
tobacco
review
license.
that all as one, and then vote on individual request actions, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There are 4 requests for renewal of tobacco licenses. The first is the Holiday Station Store on Highway 61 at County Road J. And the second is the White Bear Township Holiday Store on County Road J near the theaters. The other 2 are Cub Foods and Bald Eagle Investments, both of whom the town approved off-sale liquor licenses to just moments ago. So as set up in the matrix that we have on page 31, you can see that the applications have been completed and submitted along with the fee. The background checks have been submitted and reviewed, and we've identified that there have been no violations within the last year. The two holiday stations have had the same manager for more than the last 5 years, as has Bald Eagle Liquor. The Cub store has a new manager, and that manager has had no violations in the last year. There's not an insurance requirement, not applicable. So recommendation is to approve the 4 submitted applications for renewal.
Okay. So the first action item then, unless there's any questions on that spreadsheet from the board, first action item then is request to approve a liquor license renewal for Holiday Station stores.
Tobacco license.
Tobacco license. Clean these glasses. So is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion based on staff review and recommendation, approve the renewal of the 2017 tobacco license for Holiday Station Stores, Inc., 5970 Highway 61, for the period of January 1, 2017 through December 31st, 2017.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion's made and seconded. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Holiday Station Stores tobacco licenses, renewal is approved. Next item is 7P, and that's a tobacco license renewal for White Bear Township Holiday.
I'll make a motion based on the staff review and recommendations, approve the renewal of the 2017 tobacco license for White Bear Township Holiday, 1150 County Road J, for the period of January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the tobacco license renewal for White Bear Township Holiday. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bill, I don't recall, are the tobacco license renewal procedures different than the alcohol? They don't require a signature to the license? And license renewal information to state alcohol and gambling and enforcement?
Correct.
We don't have to do that. Very good. Thanks. Okay, next item on the agenda is 7Q, and that's regarding a tobacco license renewal for Cub Foods.
You need to give the address for the store.
I will do that in my motion. Can I do that?
Yes.
All right. Based on the staff review and recommendation, approve the renewal of the 2017 tobacco license for Cub Foods, 1059 Meadowlands Drive, for the period of January 1, 2017 through December 31st, 2017.
Motion's been made and seconded. Those in favor? I'm sorry, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, now the motion's been made and seconded to approve the Cub Foods tobacco license renewal request. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. 7R is tobacco license renewal request from Bald Eagle Investments.
Make a motion based on the staff review and recommendations, approve the renewal of the 2017 tobacco license for Bald Eagle Investments, 5960 Highway 61, for the period of January 1, 2017 through December 31st, 2017.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded to approve the Bald Eagle tobacco license request. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 8 on the agenda is added agenda items, and we have none. So I'll move to agenda item number 9, and that's open time. Is there anyone here to make comments? One chance here. If you do, you have to identify yourself and your address.
I'm Joan Elwell, 4222 Oakmead Lane, and I just wanted to compliment the city, the town of White Bear. I've lived here a year now, and I've been very impressed with the snow removal. Great job on the roads. Thank you.
Thank you. We like to hear those kind of comments.
Dale's
And
not
the
here to hear it.
the word will get passed on to the Public Works crews. Those guys are out early, and they put a lot of hours pushing that snow around, so, thank you. All right, item 10 on the agenda, is there a motion to receive agenda materials and supplements?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 11 is to adjourn. Is there a motion?
So made.
Is there a second?
Second.
We're adjourned.
Wow.
I didn't think it was gonna be that quick.